Vidar and Catherine Legard are the founders of SafariMission.org. Vidar Legard is also the author of A Fork in the Road, a book that gives you life lessons you were not taught in school and that the church did not tell you. And that is what Safari Mission Podcast is all about, teaching practical steps to personal growth and development. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Vidar and Catherine Legard.
Welcome back to our series on biblical principles for economic freedom. Today we're starting off in Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 6. It says, "Go to the ant, O sluggard." What's a sluggard? We'll find out from your translation here. "Consider her ways and be wise. Without having any chief, officer, or ruler, she prepares her bread in summer, gathers her food in harvest. How long will you lie there, O sluggard? When will you arise from your sleep? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come upon you like a robber, and want like an armed man."
Right. And so I like to bring in the Passion Translation and say the same thing just in a little bit different way. So let me read how it says in the Passion. It says, when you're feeling lazy, I think sluggard means a little lazy.
There's the answer.
Come and learn a lesson from this tale of the tiny ant. Yes, all you lazy bones, come learn from the example of the ant and enter into wisdom. The ants have no chief, no boss, no manager. No one has to tell them what to do. You'll see them working and toiling all summer long, stockpiling their food in preparation for winter. So wake up, sleepyhead. How long will you lay there? When will you wake up and get out of bed? If you keep nodding off and thinking, "I'll do it later," or say to yourself, "I'll just sit back a while and take it easy," just watch how the future unfolds.
So the ant. Ant is an interesting creature. They make huge anthills. But armed with this knowledge that you know the ant doesn't have a chief, an officer, or a ruler. They're all workers that have self-initiative.
Right.
As a kid, I would run in the forest. I would do a lot of outdoor activities. And like I'm sure many other boys have done, girls maybe too, but you take a stick, you find something, and you find an anthill that, well, there's just a little bit of activity, but not too much. But you take a stick and you poke it into that anthill, and all those ants come alive. What's very interesting is if you come back the next day, those ants will have fixed the problem you made for them.
Right.
Now, no officer, no ruler, no management, no leadership. And so each ant takes upon themselves or itself to fix whatever problem comes their way. And that's what we call self-initiative. And so the principle is this, to take responsibility for ourselves.
Right. Don't just, "Oh, the other person will do that. Oh, someone else will do that." And don't just blame it on other people and blame it on circumstances. You're like, "Oh, it's the economy's fault. It's the government's fault. Or I'm waiting for the government to do something for me." No, you need to do something for yourself. You see a problem, you do something with that problem. Don't just wait for someone else to do it. But you are the one that brings solutions, and you are the one that takes responsibility. And you just don't sit there and say, "Hey, you know what? I was unfortunate growing up, so therefore I'm just going to sit here because I was unfortunate and everyone should give to me and everyone owes me." That's a different type of mentality that will get you nowhere.
Well, it's only people who want to be dependent who wait for somebody else to do something for them.
Right.
And that is the opposite of economic freedom. It's dependency is the early stages of slavery, if I can put it that severely. And so that is a mindset that you have to get rid of that mindset, waiting for government, for parents. The church should be doing more.
Right.
Everybody should be doing more. No, we look in the mirror and we go, pointing in the mirror, I should be doing more.
Right.
That's where it starts. Marcus Washling, he said it like this, that those at the top of the mountain did not fall there.
Yeah, true.
We've been to some mountain tops.
Yes, we have.
I remember climbing Kilimanjaro. Kilimanjaro is 5,895 meters, just short of 6,000 meters altitude, 18,000 feet. So not a lot of oxygen. It's quite high. It's difficult to get a plane up there. You can't. And so it's very, very high. But yet, hiking up Kilimanjaro, we were like ants going up the mountainside. A lot of people up there. All kinds of ages. 17, 18, 19, 20-year-olds, people into their 70s, people of all kinds of shapes. You don't need a lot of special equipment. You need a good pair of shoes.
Yeah.
You need some warm clothes, but beyond that, you don't really need equipment to make it to Kilimanjaro. And yet, so it's something that is attainable for anybody.
Right.
But most won't.
No.
And that's the way it is with success. Nobody at the top of Kilimanjaro fell there. Nobody got lucky and got there.
No.
Every single person that summited Kilimanjaro, they did work and sweat to get there.
Yeah.
But it's a very simple principle. It's just keep on taking one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
One more step. One more step, regardless of how you feel.
Exactly.
But the thing about reaching the top is it's always more strain to reach the top than it is to reach the bottom.
True. Everyone can be at the bottom.
I've seen thousands of people in the foothills of Kilimanjaro.
Right.
And I've talked to so many that never made it to the summit.
Yeah.
But the mindset is we want comfort.
Right.
And if you want comfort, if you take the path of least resistance, you'll find yourself at the bottom of the mountain. If you take the path of most resistance, you'll find yourself at the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is with success. In order to reach economic freedom, you have to make some choices that your buddies are not willing to make.
Yeah. Exactly.
And that's the hard part. You have to take responsibility for yourself, and you have to do things differently from the people around about you. Otherwise, we'll be in the same boat as the people around about us.
You'll get the same results of the people who do the same thing. So if you want to have different results, you need to find the people who have the results you're looking for, and then you got to imitate the actions of those people.
So it's habits like getting up before anybody else, and not just getting up, but setting the schedule for the day before the rest of the world wakes up. I mean, these are just simple habits that people of success, they know them. Controlling your food intake, controlling your exercise level, setting priorities for the day. There's a lot of different principles like that. And it just takes discipline. It's very easy to sit here and explain it, but the discipline is really where the rubber meets the road.
But there's also liberty in that, because when you realize that you actually can do something with your own life, that you can take responsibility for yourself, and you can change where your life is heading, that also means, instead of blaming other people, it's because this is happening, it's because the government, it's because the economy, it's because of the whoever, whatever, then you have, if it's because of external situations, then you have no control over it and you can't change it. But once you realize that it's all on you and you can do something about it, that also liberates you to take action, and you can change where you are at. Whereas when we keep blaming other things, other circumstances, other people, then you're saying, I can't change it. And then you're stuck where you're at.
Yeah. So it's being like the ant. It's being like those that reach the top of Kilimanjaro. Anybody can do it. And we have talked to I don't know how many people that have reached just a basic level of economic freedom. They're not dependent on their place of work. They can fend for themselves, so to speak. Every one of them will say the same thing. I didn't get here by luck. We got here by making choices and doing some hard work. And you can do the same. But you can't do it if you're looking for the government to do it, if you're looking for your parents to do it, if you're looking for the church or somebody else to do it, or if you're looking to win the lottery, you for sure will never make it.
Yes, and what kind of goes along with that theme is to find solutions for problems. Because if all you're looking for is problems, and you can identify problems, but you cannot solve the problems, guess what? That's not going to help you. We can all find problems. Oh, there's a problem with the economy. There's a problem with the government. There's a problem with the church. There's a problem. There's a problem everywhere. Of course there is, because we live in a fallen world.
Talking about finding problems, go to the homeless people in your city. Every city has some of them.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? They sit around and talk about the problems of society as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be at the bottom of the economic ladder and you will still be able to correctly identify the problems in society.
Yeah.
In other words, it doesn't take skill to identify problems.
No.
The value is not found in the person who correctly identifies the problem.
Mm-hmm.
The value is found with the person who fixes the problem and does something to correct it.
Who finds a solution and does something to change it. Right. And so, if I have someone working for me and they have identified the problem, that's okay. But if they just bring me the problem, that doesn't help me. They need to bring me the solution. And those who can do that, that's very valuable, because then now we can go somewhere. Now we can do something, because guess what? We all see the problem.
Right.
But who can find a solution?
There is a business owner that I know,
Mm-hmm.
and employees would come to her, or workers would come to her with different problems, and she would go, well, correct, there's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you want to make the money, or do you want me to make the money?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to bring the solution,
Mm-hmm.
or do you want me to come up with the solution?
Mm-hmm.
And that is a really good question to ask.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was Mr. Campbell in Dallas, Texas, the big soup company in the United States. He had a sign on his desk, no problems allowed here.
Right.
And because that's the way it is with leaders, in churches, organizations, and businesses, people further down in the hierarchy will want to bring a problem to a leader. But a good worker will bring solutions to the leader,
Mm-hmm.
so that we can help implement these solutions.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's a difference between bringing solutions to every problem, or we can be poor, and we can bring problems to every solution.
Yeah, in fact, that's what they say. Don't hang around negative people, because they have a problem for every solution. And some people just are like that. They're just negative. They just see the problem. And even if somebody does bring a solution of, they'll never work because, that's how we are. That's how we think. We're never going to go anywhere. We're just going to sit here and do the same thing. That's a mentality. That's a mindset. That's a thinking problem. That's a stinking thinking problem. And you got to change the way you think and learn to think solution oriented. You can learn that, because you don't have to have grown up. It's an advantage to have grown up to learn to solve problems. But even if you haven't, if you're open to it, you can learn. And the more you solve problems, the more you are able to solve more problems.
Right.
Because it's like you just have that attitude that, there's a solution here somewhere, and we're going to find it. And so you find solutions, and you bring solutions. You take the responsibility to be the one finding and bringing the solutions. It's about, these two things kind of go together hand in hand, because everyone can identify the problem and say, somebody's got to fix it.
Yeah. So a quick, easy example about this. We're in Nairobi, Kenya right now. The Kenya Revenue Authority, they keep on making different changes. And one day my accountant calls me about some of the changes that they're bringing, and how taxes are deducted from employees, and the rates are changing and different things. And so he brings a problem. I'm actually in the United States at that particular time, and brings the problem, presents the problem, and then so immediately I say, okay, well, problem correctly identified. What's the answer? And immediately the accountant goes, well, I can think of this one answer or this other solution. So with the problem, two solutions are presented. Well, make a decision, pick one, implement, and go on down the road. And I didn't have to think more about that particular problem. So that's how you build value into an organization, where if you're presenting to your manager or your boss a problem, come with at least one, preferably 2 or 3 different options on how this thing can be implemented. And that's how you bring value into that organization, become a valuable employee as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and even in your own life, if you want to go somewhere in life, We can all identify problems in our life. There's a lack of money. There's a lack of relationship. There's all kinds of problems we can identify in our personal lives, right? But after we've identified them, we need to take the responsibility and say, how am I going to fix it? There's a lack of money. So I have two options, right? I can either increase my income or decrease my expenses, right? There's two solutions.
Right.
Which one am I going to do? Maybe you're going to do a combination of two. Maybe we'll both increase my income and decrease my expenses. That way I have even more left over. But, just identify it. I hear people all the time saying, I don't have enough money. I don't have enough. That's identifying the problem. But there's no solution given.
I don't know how many entrepreneurs I've talked to. I don't know how many millionaires I've talked to. And many of them have said, you ask them, what do you do for a living? And a good number of them have said, I solve problems.
Right.
And that's what it is. I mean, we're sitting in this room. I'm looking at some curtains right now. A person comes with the curtains and, the curtain box is not working properly. But this particular individual that hanged the curtains in this particular room, he came with whatever is needed to fix the curtain box and put the rails in and put the, whatever you call these gizmos. I don't even know. He knows. I can think of a lot of different seamstresses or people that would bring curtains, and they just bring the fabric with the seam put on it and kind of throw it in your lap and he'd go, here, I brought you the curtains you ordered.
Mm-hmm.
But this particular individual, he knows there's a certain set of problems that are common to encounter when you deliver the curtains, and so he comes prepared with solutions for those problems. Guess what? We ordered him back, and we ordered him back, and we ordered him back because he's of the kind of an individual that goes beyond just what is absolutely necessary for that job. He thinks a little bit broader, thinks a little bit deeper, and brings more solutions than what he's common to bring. That's
right.
A valuable person.
Yeah, so the more solutions you can solve for other people, the more you can grow a business. The more solutions you can solve for yourself, the more you can grow yourself.
Yes.
Your own capacity, your own family, your own relationships, your own finances, whatever it is. But just sitting there and pointing out mistakes and faults. I found that poor people, they like to point out mistakes. That's the talk I hear a lot. I hear people talk and I say, there's a problem with this, there's a problem with that. But they never have any solution in their own life or in the life of others. Guess what? They're not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
Because they are problem-oriented instead of being solution-oriented. But I found that my friends who are doing well financially, who have made successful, taken successful steps in their personal life, business life, I find our conversations are never centered around a problem. They're always centered around the solution. You know what? The city told me this, but I have some solutions for that. They're solution oriented. And that's just the mindset.
Right.
And that's a choice you make. Are you going to be solution oriented or problem oriented?
So it's about starting with ourselves. It's about being like the ant. Mm-hmm. If you poke a hole, you create a problem for the ant will come up with the solution.
Right.
So take responsibility for your own actions, for your own place in life. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't be blamed for where we start in life. I mean, we're born into a particular situation. That's not our own choice. It's choices that were made for us. But we do have choices in where to go in life. Mm-hmm. And we need to take responsibility for those and all be about finding solutions to issues. Ask people, read books, find the answers because the answers are out there. Whatever situation we're in, we're not the only person that's ever been in that situation.
Right.
There are others that have been in similar situations. They have come out of it. Mm-hmm. There are answers around. So be resourceful. Don't expect everybody else to provide the resources you need, but be resourceful yourself. When you become resourceful, you'll be a person of value and you'll be on the way to economic freedom, which God wants you to have.
Yes, amen. And so we hope that that's helped you today. God bless you so much.
Well, that's it for today. Watch out for our next episode with teachings from Vidar and Catherine Ligard. Like, share, and subscribe to our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube pages at Safari Mission. You can also visit our website www.safarimission.org or call us at +254 74 1777 805 to know more about Safari Mission and how you can get yourself a copy of Vidal Ligad's book, A Fork in the Road.